Today, we are doing a tier list of different ride restraints. Now, yeah, pretty simple ride restraint tier list made by me. You can do it if you want to, post it, whatever you want. But obviously, I don't have all restraints in the world. These are just some of the most popular and most common that you will find that I have been on. So, yes, let's get done with the yap. Let's get into a straight S tier. The B&M clamshells. By the way, I don't know the names of all of these, so I'm literally just going to call it whatever I want. But the clamshells S, they are so fire. The way that they come down on you, they are not tight at all. Usually, you have a lot of room for airtime, but obviously, you can still get stapled. They're easy to hold up, but I'm not usually one to hold restraints upwards. So they, and even when like they do fall down, they don't like absolutely like crush your body, which is really nice. And yeah, they have a lot of room. They have a lot of room majority of the time, unlike some ones later on the list. Speaking of one, which is the vests. Let's go B. I don't hate these things. I don't think that they are that bad. I might go C, though. They're not that bad. For me, they don't really come down that tight on me because I know I've heard, like, horror stories of people, like, not being able to breathe and stuff like that. For me, not that bad. And I don't know. Most of these aren't on any, like, airtime rides. So it's not like you're, like, getting restricted of airtime. I do understand when, like, it's an airtime-based ride and you have vests, like newer Vacomas, that's kind of annoying. But these are just like inverts or stuff like that. It's not really like restricting airtime. Not that bad. People just need to get over themselves. And then Premier, this is just the lap bar. This is going to go B. Not the best lap bar ever. They're like the most basic lap bar restraint that you can find. They do have a shin restraint, but they're not that bad. You can move your feet and whatever. Because I think I have, I have this one right here. These actually restrict your legs. These don't really that much. Like, they're kind of there, but they don't. You can still move your feet around and stuff. Not that bad. And then the actual restraint, haven't been on one with any, like, real airtime. But they don't really come down that hard. They are kind of blocky, which is, like, what the clamshell isn't. Clamshell isn't blocky. This is on your, lap pretty well. This one, I don't know. It kind of just hovers there, to be honest. It's not that bad. It doesn't come down on you. Pretty basic. All right, next we got Vacoma, just normal lap bar. I'm going to go C. I like the Premiers more. These ones are so weird. Like, they're not bad. They're just bad for short people, which is kind of ironic because the photo that it's in is for a kid's ride. So, yeah. That's kind of ironic. Also, sorry if there's any static. I just moved my microphone. Sorry about that. So if you ever hear static in any of my videos, it's because I moved my mic. Should probably stop doing that. But yeah, these are like so odd. This they don't rest on your waist. It rests on your stomach if you're a shorter person. And for kids, oh my god, that thing has to be like on their chest. Like, swear to God. Like, even for me, I'm not the biggest guy ever. I'm 5'5". These things go on my stomach, and I can't imagine what it's like for kids. But I don't know. They don't come down that hard on you. I hate it when they staple you, because when they staple you, it's actually low-key a problem. But if they don't staple you, not that bad. So overall, C. All right, next we got God, it's another C. God, we have so many C tiers, so much mid. Actually, nah, I'm gonna move this down to D. Then I'll keep that in C. These are just completely okay. The shin guards, low-key, can be a problem. You can't move your feet around whatsoever. And these things can't staple you rough. Which is one of the only drawbacks to RMC rides is their restraints, low-key, aren't that good. But the reason why they're in C tier is because even though they restrict your legs, you can literally just put your legs against the leg restraint, and like once the operator feels pressure, they'll stop pushing down, so you'll get airtime. And during the ride, you can use it to prop up the restraint, so you can do that too. But yeah, if you get stapled, it's bad. All right, next we got a Hagrid's. We're gonna go top of B. Pretty solid. These are like the modern Intamin restraints, but they're a little bit more blocky, which makes sense because the seats are so much more open on these things. It makes sense they have to be blocky to secure you. So I've never had any problems. They don't staple you at all. Well, first of all, the operators don't push it down, and then the actual seats don't really come down during the ride. So obviously, actually I might bump it up to A. They're pretty enjoyable. All right, first F tier of the day. In Vertigo, over-the-shoulder restraints on the inverted boomerang. Trash! Sorry if that was too loud. Oh, these are awful. They're basically like the B&M ones, which the B&M ones, I'm gonna go A. We'll get to the B&M ones later. But it's basically the B&M restraints, but you have thick padding right next to your ears. It is torture, awful. Every single turn, you slam your head. Trash. But this is what the B&M ones fix. It's nice and open. They don't come down on you too difficultly, not too rough. They don't really touch your shoulders either. That's very nice. I don't like when restraints touch your shoulders. That's personally me, though. And these don't have like thick padding right next to your ears, a little bit of space. So, yeah, sometimes you can still hit your head if it's very herky-jerky, but most of the time, you should be good. These are very good. We got Arrow's little restraints here, the lap bars. I'm going to go B. Nah, I'm going to go C. These things, low-key, are pretty all right. They're just pure metal, no padding. And that is why, for like a ride like Magnum, it's like a D. Because Magnum, when you hit the airtime hills, it hurts. It's the price you pay for good airtime. I will give you that. Sharp airtime does come with the price. But for like something like a minecart ride, they're pretty enjoyable. I would say not too awful. It's like a B. Keeps you locked in. They don't tighten on you too difficultly. They're not like big staplers. So you get an average of a C. All right, next up we got Mystic Timbers restraints. Let's go A again. These are easy to hold up. They come right down on your lap pretty easily. Yeah, they're just clean. They're nice. They're better than the newer GCI restraints by the looks of it, because those are bulky. These are very much not bulky. You can get a lot of room on these. So, yeah, overall, pretty solid. Another F. The whatever they're called. I hate them. I forget the name, which is kind of upsetting me right now. But the ones with basically the premier lap bars, but they have the collars. The collars, whatever. They're trash. They restrict all airtime. They're uncomfortable. The trains just suck. You can't move any inch of your body. They need to replace it. I'm glad that they got rid of the collars on Icebreaker, but oh my god, they need to discontinue these. They're trash. All right. Next up, we have the modern gen Intamin restraint. I'm going to go top A, not S. I know a lot of people love these. This is a fan favorite. But for me, personally, I like the OG Intamins better. I've been on Velocicoaster. They're very snug. They sit on your lap pretty comfortably. They're not too blocky. They don't come down very hard. They have ample room, easy to hold. Yeah, but the only thing that these do better is that, I swear to God, I rode Millennium Force last year. This was like peak day. I put it up to where like I had like a good 2-3 inches. And during the entire ride, didn't touch the bar a single time. The bar didn't move. It didn't move. The entire ride, it didn't move, which is just like insane. And I didn't even need to hold it up for it to stay there, which is like, it doesn't make sense. But that's the reason why it's S. But to be honest, they're basically 1A and 1B. But I just like the OGs a little bit more, if you feel me. So, yeah, both incredible, though. All right, we got Arrows over the shoulder restraints. I'm going to go bottom C. Yeah. They're okay. They're basically like the B&M ones, but like worse. They have a bit more padding right next to your head. So on like the bat, if you're not careful, you can hit your head. But other than that, they're basically just the B&M ones. So I guess if you are able to like be careful and avoid the head banging, then it could be a lot better. All right, next we have the Surf Coaster over the shoulder restraints. These are honestly a little bit worse, if like not the same. I don't know. These ones are just a little bit tighter, which I think it's because you're standing up that they're a little bit tighter. But the thing is, they don't like actually restrict any of the airtime, because the whole airtime bit on this ride is you like being lifted up into the air. So it doesn't actually restrict the airtime. It's just that like it's like tight on your body, which is, I understand kind of why people don't like these ones, but like these ones are just tighter than these, if that makes sense. So that's why they're slightly lower. And then we are going to finish off with the PTC Oldies. Perfect B tier, to be honest. So, yeah, they're old. They can be found at almost every single theme park. They aren't bulky. They sit on your lap pretty well. They can restrict movement a little bit. They can staple you if they are pushed down pretty far. So, yeah. Overall, just a very middle-of-the-road restraint. All right. That is the list. I know it's not fully evenly distributed, but I don't care. It's my tier list. You can make it yourself. But comment down below if you think that there's any more restraints that I may have been on that aren't on this tier list. I can add them for later. But yeah, other than that, comment down below what you think I got right, what I didn't, and have a good day, of course.